Welcome to the deep dive. We've got quite a stack of sources today, and we're diving into probably one of the most talked about, maybe polarizing projects in crypto, Pi Network. You know, the one founded by Stanford PhDs aiming for super accessible, low energy crypto mining, basically just using your smartphone. And the context right now, it's pretty wild. It's October 31st, 2025. Price is, well, around $0.24, but it's taken a bit of a hit today. Quite a correction, actually. But the network itself, we're talking an estimated market cap over $2 billion based on about 8.3 billion PI circulating, just dropped. Like two huge news items almost at once. Regulated exchange-traded product, ETP, and then this big AI partnership. Big stuff.
Exactly. And when you see two, seemingly massive positive headlines hit basically together, especially when the market's choppy like this, well, you got to suspect the spin cycle is on high. So for you listening, this isn't about picking sides, cheering or booing. It's really about dissecting what's real here. Our mission really is to cut through that clickbait, the stuff shouting about instant supercomputers or mainnet maturity. We need to check the actual claims, look hard at the timing, and understand the financial reality behind both the ETP and this supposed new utility. Get past the noise.
Okay, yeah, let's unpack that. Starting with the TradFi angle, right? The Valour Pi Network ETP over in Sweden, headlines are shouting, Pi Network gains legitimacy. It's their first entry into a regulated financial market. Sounds like a knockout punch against that constant, is it a scam? Question, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. For their PR, it's a huge win, no doubt. And let's get the facts straight. The ETP, it's real. It did launch on Sweden's spotlight stock market. It is managed by Valour Inc. And yeah, they're a subsidiary of DeFi Technologies, which is NASDAQ listed. There's a 1.9% annual management fee. So yes, technically, it does offer a regulated way for Swedish investors, folks who don't want to mess with crypto wallets to get exposure. It's definitely regulatory validation. Helps counter the FUD for sure.
But hang on, getting any kind of regulatory nod, especially in a place like Sweden, isn't that a massive signal anyway? Even if volume is low now, it feels like it addresses that core doubt about legitimacy looking forward. And why are we hearing about it today like it just happened? You said it launched.
Yeah, that's what's fascinating, right? The timing. This ETP actually went live way back on August 27th, 2025. 2 months ago. The news cycle, I think, quite deliberately dragged up this 2-month-old news to bundle it with the genuinely new AI announcement. Why? To create this feeling of, immediate, powerful momentum. It's a classic marketing move. Make old news feel urgent. Make it seem like things are accelerating right now.
Right. Manufacture that buzz. And okay, let's talk impact then. If this ETP was truly signaling some huge institutional shift, you'd expect serious volume flowing through Sweden, especially compared to Pi's total daily volume. We know that's massive, right? Somewhere between, 19 and $26 million traded daily across all exchanges.
Exactly. You'd expect a noticeable slice of that pie, pardon the pun, to be coming from this regulated channel if it were truly significant. But the reality, it's almost laughable different. We've got the actual data. The daily turnover for this ETP is averaging around 42,787 Swedish krona.
Okay, 42,000 krona. What's that in dollars? Like
$4,070 US dollars. $4,070 daily.
Wow. So they launched this big regulated institutional product, and it trades about as much money in a day as, I don't know, decent coffee shop. That's not exactly earth-shattering finance.
Precisely. I mean, put it in perspective. That ETP volume accounts for maybe 0.0004% to 0.02% of Pi's total daily trading volume. It's a rounding error, so yes, it exists. Yes, it's regulated. But a game changer for price or liquidity? Absolutely not. It's image management. Pure narrative control. And let's not forget, it's listed on the Spotlight stock market. That's a small cap exchange in Sweden. They actually label the ETP itself as a high-risk asset. So symbolic win, yes. Right. Real financial impact, minimal.
Got it. PR Gold, financial footnote. Okay, let's pivot hard then. The second big headline, the OpenMind AI partnership. Now, this feels potentially more substantial, right? Because it's about actual utility, not just market access or speculation. Announced October 28th, 2025. Partnering with OpenMind, they seem legit. $20 million Series A, Pantera Capital's involved, founders a Stanford associate professor. Looks solid.
Yeah, this is definitely the more technically interesting piece of news, no question. What they did was run a proof of concept, a PC. And they successfully used, get this, over 350,000 active Pi nodes to handle complex AI tasks, specifically image recognition models. The number of nodes itself is huge, obviously, but the really clever technical bit is how they managed it without needing, powerful gaming PCs or massive energy consumption like traditional mining.
Okay, wait. How does a network based on simple phone mining suddenly power AI? You can't convince me my phone turned into a supercomputer overnight.
Right. It's not about the individual phone's power. It's the underlying protocol. Pi uses the Stellar Consensus Protocol, SCP. Think of SCP like a really, really efficient engine. It does its job securing the network, reaching consensus using very little energy. It's designed to be lightweight.
So while the network is just ticking over doing its consensus thing, there's a lot of leftover processing power just sitting there, idle capacity.
Exactly. Across those 350,000 nodes, while they're doing the minimal work needed for consensus, most of their compute capacity is just dormant, unused. The PIASI prove they can tap into that collective dormant power and point it at something demanding, like AI training. And that creates a really clear potential use case, a genuine utility. AI developers could pay the Pi network, in PI tokens, for that compute time. Node operators earn PI for contributing. It's a legitimate economic loop.
Okay, that makes sense. That's a real differentiator, moving Pi beyond just being another potential payment coin.
Yeah.
But inevitably, the media jumps on the flashy phrase, Pi nodes acting as a global distributed supercomputer. Cue the hype music.
And that's where we need to pump the brakes. Hype check time. Global distributed supercomputer sounds amazing, sells clicks, but it completely ignores some fundamental technical questions. It really raises the key question. Okay, 350,000 nodes is a lot, quantity is there, but what about the quality? Can the sprawling, decentralized network actually compete with centralized cloud providers for real-world AI tasks?
Right. We're missing the crucial data points. Forget asking for FLOPS or technical jargon. The real question is, can these 350,000 nodes do the AI work OpenMind needs faster, or maybe cheaper, than just renting equivalent power from Amazon, AWS, or Google Cloud? That's the business case.
That is the essential metric, and it's completely missing right now. We have zero public benchmarks on cost effectiveness, speed comparison, or maybe most critically, latency. Think about the lag involved in coordinating a single massive computation across 350,000 nodes spread all over the globe. Decentralized AI training is notoriously hard because of that coordination and bandwidth challenge. So yes, they have a successful PS, a demonstration, but turning that into a reliable production-grade system that an AI company backed by Pantera Capital would actually pay to use consistently, that's still a pretty big leap.
And the other angle the media pushed was linking this OpenMind news to rapid evolution toward utility and mainnet readiness, which, again, feels like misleading timing, right? The mainnet launched
8 months ago, yeah. February 20th, 2025. So that readiness angle is off. But the more critical missing piece for actual utility, it's something called Protocol 23. That's the upgrade that enables smart contracts on the Pi network. And it's still only on the testnet, not live on mainnet.
Okay, Protocol 23. Why is that specific protocol the key hurdle for this AI partnership to become real? It's not just about basic smart contracts, is it?
No, not at all. In this context, think about the smart contracts as the automated payment rails and verification system. An AI developer needs a trustless way to send PI payment to the network for compute time. And those 350,000 node operators need an automatic, instant way to get paid once their contribution to the compute job is verified. Protocol 23 is what provides that critical automated settlement and verification layer. Without it live on the mainnet, the AI compute thing is just a cool tech demo, not an actual operational revenue-generating business.
All right, the plumbing isn't connected yet. Okay, so let's put it all together. We have the ETP validation, mostly symbolic. We have the AI technical proof, genuinely interesting potential. But what crucial context are the promotional articles just leaving out? What do you, listening, really need to know about the immediate risks here?
Well, the most obvious omission is how the market actually reacted on the day of all this supposedly great news, October 31st. Despite the fanfare, the price took a significant tumble, down over 5%. The market was clearly selling the news, which suggests investors are maybe looking past the headlines at deeper issues.
And that deeper issue, the elephant in the room that the hype piece is conveniently ignored, is the ticking clock on token unlocks, right? Scheduled for November 2025. That sounds like a lot of potential selling pressure hitting soon.
Yeah, connecting the dots here paints a picture of short-term risk. Big picture. In November, somewhere between 121 million and 172 million PI tokens are set to be unlocked. These aren't just random tokens. They're mostly from early vesting schedules, foundational allocations held by early backers, maybe team members. At the current price, that translates to potentially $30 million to $45 million worth of PI becoming liquid, ready to be sold almost overnight.
Whoa. $30 to $45 million.
Yeah.
Compared to the average daily volume of $19 to $25 million, that's enough potential selling to completely swamp the market's normal liquidity. easily.
That's exactly the concern. It's why the technical forecasts we've looked at are flagging a 60% chance of a bearish scenario playing out in November. They're projecting a price range potentially dipping down to 0.20 cents, 26 cents. That puts the crucial $24 support level directly in the firing line. It becomes extremely vulnerable under that kind of forced selling from the unlocks.
Suddenly, that cool AI tech demo feels a bit overshadowed by this very immediate, very real tokenomic pressure.
Utility development takes time. Token unlocks happen instantly.
Yeah.
And don't forget, the other roadblocks still lingering. The Pi decentralized exchange, the PiDEX, still on testnet. Critically, it needs Protocol 23, the smart contract functionality, to launch on mainnet first before the DX can go live. So until Protocol 23 is live, stable, and working on the mainnet, those longer-term utility visions, including making actual money from AI compute, they remain just theories. Potential, but not reality.
Okay, so for someone listening who wants to track this beyond the hype, cut through the noise, what are the key verifiable milestones and things that would signal a real shift from potential to actual operational success?
Right, forget watching the ETP volume, it's irrelevant. Forget the supercomputer buzzwords. Focus on 3 concrete proof points. 1, Protocol 23 successfully launching and stabilizing on the mainnet, that's the foundational layer. 2, the PiDX going live publicly officially on the mainnet, that signals ecosystem infrastructure is being built out. And 3, the ultimate validation. Hard evidence of AI compute revenue. Seeing OpenMind or any other developer actually paying PI into the network for compute services rendered, that's when you know the utility is real and the token has demand beyond speculation.
Okay, let's try to wrap this up then. Core findings for you listening. The Valour ETP, mostly a PR move. Good for image, necessary regulatory validation perhaps, but zero real volume impact right now. The OpenMind posse, though, that seems like a genuine technical step forward, proving that the network can potentially leverage that dormant compute power from hundreds of thousands of nodes that is real utility potential.
It really does start to differentiate Pi, doesn't it? Moves it beyond just being another payment token concept. They've partially solved the technical challenge of finding a use for that distributed power, but, and it's a big but, the immediate financial reality, that huge wave of token unlocks potentially hitting in November, plus the absolute dependency on getting Protocol 23 shipped and working means the market's biggest stress test is probably just around the corner.
Which brings us to that final provocative thought to leave you with. Pi Network has shown it controls perhaps the largest pool of dormant, globally distributed compute power in crypto, those 350,000 plus active nodes. So what are the really big long-term implications for the whole idea of decentralized cloud computing if, and it's a significant if, Pi Network can actually solve the massive technical hurdles? If they can scale this AI training from a POC to a reliable production system that truly competes with the big centralized players.
Well, if they manage that, they could fundamentally change the economics of cloud compute. Imagine tapping into that distributed power, essentially using near zero marginal cost energy resources already being expended by the phones. It could be a genuine decentralized competitor. But first, they have to nail the extremely complex tech coordination bandwidth reliability, and they have to survive the tokenomics, specifically that November unlock pressure. So keep your eyes firmly fixed on Protocol 23's progress. That's the real barometer for whether this AI dream starts turning into reality.